All right, let's cut across right now to Lok Sabha MP, TMC, Mahua Moitra. Mahua, along with other TMC MPs, was protesting this morning in front of the Home Ministry. The TMC MPs were dragged, they were detained, they were protesting what the TMC claims is unfair use or the weaponization of central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate and the action that was taken in West Bengal, where IPAC was concerned. IPAC is a consultancy which TMC has been consulting with for a very long time. All right, we're going to just cut across to Mahua Moitra in just about a minute, but these were the visuals that were recorded this morning. Multiple protest viewers that are taking place. One, right outside the parliament, which you saw this morning. These were TMC MPs protesting outside the Home Ministry on what they called was the weaponization and the misuse of central agencies. And then the other, you had Mamata Banerjee, who took out a protest march against what, once again, TMC claims is the misuse and the weaponization of central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate. All right, Mahua Moitra, Lok Sabha MP, joins us right now. Ms. Moitra, thank you for taking the time out and joining us this evening. I clearly see you've been released. You were detained earlier. Can you hear me, Ms. Moitra?
Yes, yes, I can. This is a recording, right, Preeti?
No, ma'am, we are going live. Is that okay?
Yes, I can hear you. This is a recording, right?
We are going live, ma'am. We are going live.
We're going at, for 9
No, we are live. It's live television.
That's fine.
All
okay,
right.
let's go. All right.
Okay, the first question, Ms. Moitra, what you and your other fellow MPs protested today, that is in the ambit of Constitution, you have every right to do so. What happened on the streets of Kolkata, where Mamata Banerjee led a march, you have every right to protest what you feel and deem is unfair use or weaponization of central agencies. But, Ms. Moitra, what is questionable and under scrutiny and should be condemnable, many would suggest, is a constitutional post of the Chief Minister walking in, barging into a building which is being investigated and coming in the way of a central agency carrying out or dispensing its duties, the charge of the ED.
What investigation? What are you talking about? The BJP is using every single agency. They have now captured every single agency, every single institution mechanism, whether it's the Election Commission, whether it's the CBI, whether it's the Enforcement Directorate, and they're using it to crush the opposition. What you saw yesterday was no investigation being carried on by the ED. The ED is apparently carrying on some 6 or 7-year-old coal scam investigation, which they are doing on the eve of the Bengal election. What were you doing for 6 or 7 years? What is the predicate offence? Which is the main FIR on which they are coming in? ED can't come in on its own. They need a predicate offence. Which coal scam are they investigating? They've just given an ECR number. Second, IPAC is nothing to do with the coal scam. IPAC is not like it's a money lender of the Trinamool. IPAC is a contractually bound agency which Trinamool Congress has hired and works with purely for election strategy. That is no secret. To say that IPAC is an agency engaged in dealing with selling salt cellars or doing cement business is ridiculous. Everyone knows IPAC's offices are TMC's election offices. That is very clear. The Enforcement Directorate came in yesterday. What did they do? They came in on the pretext of some flimsy ECR, and they are carrying on raids for a 7-year-old investigation, Preeti. Does anyone believe this is feasible on the eve of an election when an SIR is going on, when all the parties survey, our candidate list, our election strategy, everything is on the computers and in the files contained in the physical offices, and obviously with Preeti Choudhry, who is in charge of IPAC, who is heading our strategy in West Bengal. Number one. The second thing is, the ED is coming in the morning, and they were in the offices of Preeti Choudhry from in the house and in the offices from I think 6 o'clock in the morning to 11:45 in the morning. Our Chief Minister is not just the Chief Minister. Our Chief Minister is also the head of our party. When your house is being robbed, Preeti, you have every right under the law to the right of self-defense to prevent your house from being robbed and your belongings from being taken away. What the Enforcement Directorate was doing was coming in and pure and simple political loot, political robbery and political espionage. If they were going to take the electronic devices and the information relating to our strategy and our data for the election and go and give it to the BJP, it is irretrievably lost. Mamata Banerjee is the leader of the party, has every right to go in there and try and retrieve what is going on there. What constitutional post are you talking about?
But no, let me explain that, Ms. Moitra. Are you making a distinction then that Mamata Banerjee went into the office of the IPAC, which was being raided by the Enforcement Directorate in the capacity of a party chief and not as a constitutional post of the Chief Minister? Because the argument, if a Chief Minister does this, federalism is a two-way street.
Yes, she's all,
and
yes,
a Chief Minister doing this will set a dangerous precedent.
She went in, she is also the head of the party chief. She is also, when Amit Shah is the Home Minister of the country. Amit Shah is the Home Minister of the country and Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of the country. During the 2024 elections, Narendra Modi, as a Prime Minister of a secular constitutional democracy, stands in Banswara and says the most ugly mullah, katwa mullah, Mangal Sutra, terrible words for Muslims, dog whistling of the worst order, as the BJP campaigner in head. Or does he say it in the capacity of a Prime Minister? If he's saying in the capacity of a constitutional head, as the capacity of a Prime Minister, why are you not making a distinction then? Then you say, no, this is campaign season. Everything is all fair because he's saying it as the capacity of a BJP campaigner in chief. In this case, it is Mamata Banerjee who's also the Chief Minister, who's also the head of our party. You are the head of a party whose entire election data, election strategy is being stolen in front of your eyes illegally by political espionage, by political loot, by Enforcement Directorate, who has no business coming in there. If they have got something to give, let them send a notice on the coal scam to Preeti Choudhry. What has Preeti Choudhry got to do with the coal scam? And where was IPAC when apparently the whole coal scam was going on? Do you think anyone believes this kind of rubbish? You had Himanta Bisa Sarma, who was in the Louis Berger case. You had Shuvendu Adhikari. You had Ajit Pawar, who was in a 70,000 crore scam. You had Narayan Rane. What happened? What is the ED doing with all these people? And after 7 years, in the middle of SIR, in the middle of our election strategy, you are coming in and trying to take the documents and trying to take the data of the Trinamool Congress. And you're trying to tell us that we are obstructing you. You are robbing our house. And Mamata Banerjee is the only person, Preeti, who's got the guts to stand up to this kind of BJP thuggery and BJP loot. Everybody puts their tail between their legs and runs. Himanta Bisa Sarma ran. Praful Patel ran. Ajit Pawar ran. Nobody has the guts to fight the ED and the CBI. We are the only people who take them on head on. And that's what they're scaring. If we have done something wrong, why did ED not file an FIR yesterday? If Mamata Banerjee has destroyed evidence and obstructed justice,
Ms. Moitra, let me ask you this question.
ED should have filed an FIR.
But the
Why did they not file an FIR? Yeah.
But the Enforcement Directorate has gone to court, like you have gone to court, yes. Like the IPAC has gone to court, and the Enforcement Directorate also...
Why have they going to go...
For obstructing of evidence by the TMC and the Chief Minister.
We have gone to court also. We have gone to court also. 1 minute. We have also gone to court. We have 3 cases that are going to court is not the main thing. We have gone to court, but we have filed an FIR also. West Bengal police has filed 3 FIRs against the ED. That you have come in, you have taken our proprietary information. Why has the ED, the first thing, if you're going on to an investigation and somebody comes in, if the police is doing its job and somebody comes in and stops it, the first thing the police does is to file an FIR that you're stopping a public servant from doing their job, A. B, obstruction in the way of investigation. C, destruction of evidence. Why did the ED not file an FIR? Why are you going to the court first? Because you want to hide under the fig leaf of the court, because you are dead scared that people see the truth and this will politically backfire on you.
But Ms. Moitra, the Enforcement Director has also claimed that the court could not even hear the case today because there was so much confusion and chaos caused by the cadre of the TMC.
The High Court of Calcutta is perfectly capable of taking care of itself.
But the case was suspended because there was too much chaos in court today.
Right?
No, ma'am.
So the High Court has given another date. The High Court is completely, how many, 1 minute. How many cases, if the High Court is going on, the High Court is fully capable of looking after what happens within its premises. We have seen what happens when the Enforcement Directorate has been hit on the head over and over again, repeatedly by the Supreme Court, saying, what are you doing going in here? Every single day the Enforcement Directorate is hit on the head by the Supreme Court, rapped on the knuckles, saying you are overstepping your jurisdictions, you are doing things where you have nothing to do, where there is no confession, where there is no nothing, you are doing anything you like. Who is the ED to speak on behalf of the court?
All right.
If the court has got something to say, the court is very well equipped.
All right. So, okay, it was suspended today because there was way too much chaos, which was caused by the cadre of the TMC.
Need to be the High Court speaker.
Okay, Ms. Moitra, let me just get you down to the charge. On what is the charge?
That's up to
there
the
are PMLA rules that apply. PMLA we can contest as a draconian law.
Indeed the case.
No, Ms. Moitra, where the charge is concerned, we can contest that PMLA is a draconian law, but the ED is well within its right to act under the purview of the law of the PMLA, which it did. Now, the charge as per the ED is grave, where they say that money was funneled, coal scam money was funneled through IPAC to fund your campaign in the last election of Goa. And it doesn't just add up there, because Abhishek Banerjee has also been sent multiple notices by the ED where the coal scam is concerned. So the ED is saying that we are trying to close the loop.
All right. All right, so 1 second. So the ED is called Abhishek a total of 19 times. The Goa election, if I remember, was in February 2022. We are now in 2026. We are in the middle of the Bengal election, which is a hotly contested election, which the BJP knows very well that it's going to lose. The BJP has looted Haryana, has looted Chhattisgarh, has looted Maharashtra, and also after doing SIR in Bihar, they want to come in and do something absolutely spectacular in Bengal to disturb everyone, to make sure that they can get their foot in the door. They thought SIR will be that weapon. They find that they can't do it with SIR because we are obviously on the ground. So what are they doing? They are trying to come in on the last minute. Tell me something. If they are indeed following is this not grossly improper and highly suspicious that on the eve of the election, in a 4-year, the Goa election was 2022. It's taken you 4 years to suddenly discover that Pratik Jain was funneling coal scam money. It's taken you 4 years to discover that. And Himanta Bisa Sarma, whose everything was filed in the Louis Berger case, is today Assam Chief Minister. And Ajit Pawar, 70,000 crores, Amit Shah himself said that isko to 70,000 crore ka scam hai.
Ms. Moitra, you're making a fair point.
And Amit Shah said. And
no,
today
Ms. Moitra,
he's Deputy Chief Minister and holding it in.
No, ma'am, you're making a fair point which you can protest. No, I'll add to it, because what we've actually done is in the last 10 years, we've gone through each and every election that has taken place in the country, and we have seen that save 2 elections...
98% of ED cases are against the opposition.
Right, but you can protest that. And with what
98% of ED cases are against the opposition.
Right, so what we have seen is save 2 elections, action has been taken by central agencies against opposition party, whether it's been incumbent or in opposition to the BJP, and it's happened 2 or 3 months before elections. It's open to contest. You can come here and you can thread the chronology and you can ask questions of the central agency and the government. But what many would suggest is sinister, is if a constitutional post comes in the way of a central agency dispensing their duties, because then you set precedents. Tomorrow, what stops any other chief minister of coming in the way of a central agency?
Preeti, what precedent are we, Preeti? Which world are we living in? Preeti, we are living, what are you talking about? We are living in a world where the ruling party and the government has broken down every single institution. Where there is no rule of law, they have broken down every rule, every institution, every institutional mechanism has been systematically decimated by this government. Whether it is choosing the Chief Justice with a panel, by choosing the election commissioner where you need the Chief Justice, they have removed him. Whether it's choosing the head of the CBI, every single thing. Look at the UAP.
But by that argument, you're playing in the same field
every single amendment they have made. They have, hear me out. No, you need to hear me out. So when the ED acts like this, when they use agencies to do illegal things, are we going to sit back and be eaten up by them? I'm sorry. I'm not naming other parties, but we are not like the other parties who keel over and bow to the BJP. Trinamool Congress is different. Mamata Banerjee is different. We are made of different metal. The BJP is not going to darao us and dhamkao us, and we are going to sit there and be monkeys out of. You come into our house and try and rob us, you have us to deal with. We are responsible for the people of Bengal. You are cutting 58 lakh votes. 1.34 overnight are going away in logical discrepancies. You have no answer. You are hiring a private agency from Gujarat to go door to door to get data. And the Chief Election Commissioner is telling us, I'm not even aware of it.
But Ms. Moitra, do you agree this is dangerous territory then?
Contest with the...
This is dangerous. Okay, do you agree then? That this is dangerous territory? Do you now agree at least that this is dangerous territory? It is dangerous territory because
we are living in dangerous territory. We are Preeti, Preeti, we are living in dangerous territory ever since 2014, where we are dealing with a fascist government that has broken every constitutional rule in the book. All
Ms.
we are
Moitra,
doing
you
now
speak
is
about
protecting us
federalism.
and
Federalism
protecting
is a
our
two-way
people
street,
and protecting
ma'am.
our party in a democracy. A secularism is a two-way street.
Federalism is a two-way street. You speak about federalism. Mamata Banerjee is the first one to talk about...
Yes, of course, federalism is a two-way street. So federalism is a two-way street, which is why under everything, when in federalism, what would happen in federalism? When agencies came in, what would they do? What would the CBI first do? That they would come in, they would work with the local police and come in. What have they done? Every single federal structure they have systematically destroyed. What have they just done with Manrega? They would have to pay, they would pay 100% of the wage cost, and they would pay 75-25 state and thing. What have they done with this new VG RAM bill? They have made it 60-40. So for a state now, where it was paying 750 crores, has to pay 4,000 crores.
But Ms. Moitra, the argument...
Federalism, they've destroyed the federal structure. It's only because of a few leaders like Mamata Banerjee who are there.
But it's not just happened, Ms. Moitra. The argument is that Mamata Banerjee and the TMC has resisted central agencies right from the word go. And there's a whole chronology to it. You can go all the way back where the dharna for the police commissioner...
Of course we will resist the central agencies. Has the... one second. Of course we will resist them. Of course we will resist them 100,000 times. Because they are not central agencies. They are puppets, they are dalals, they are political espionage tools of the Home Minister and the Prime Minister and the BJP and the ruling government. Of course we are going to resist them. What do you think we are? What do you think we are? We think we are Ajit Pawar. You think we are Praful Patel. You think we are Himanta Bisa Sarma. That we are scared of being in jail and we are going to go running after them the minute they threaten us with a danda. Look what they did to me, Preeti. They sent me CBI, ED, everything. Today they are sending Pinaki ED notices. What are we supposed to do? Cow down or fight back? We've had enough of their nonsense. We do not get our power from them. Let the BJP understand this. The BJP gets its power from their agencies. Mamata Banerjee gets her power from the people of Bengal. The Trinamool gets its power from the people of Bengal, and we are committed and duty-bound to protect our party and the people of Bengal, and we will do whatever it takes to protect our information and our electoral strategy to win the 2026 elections. Whatever it takes.
Ms. Moitra, let me ask you
one. Mamata Banerjee is a tigress, Preeti. Nobody else would have had the guts to do this, let me tell you. Nobody else.
Well, the point is it's unprecedented. And so let me end with this question. Ms. Moitra, do you agree it's unprecedented?
Of course it's unprecedented because we've never dealt with the situation.
This will set a precedent.
We have never dealt with a situation where a fascist government has destroyed every opposition. That's also unprecedented. Yeah, because we've never had a fascist government that is hell-bent on destroying every opposition party. That's also unprecedented. So when you have unprecedented situations, we have to fight with unprecedented means. What are we supposed to do? Just lie back and get shot. Is that what you're suggesting?
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moitra, for taking the time out and joining us. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's cut across now and give you a sense of what happened through the course of the day. I was speaking to Mahua Moitra. She was one of the many MPs of the TMC that protested outside Home Ministry once again, claiming that the action that has been taken is the weaponization of central agencies, while what happened in West Bengal was something quite the same. Mamata Banerjee took out a protest march. And there were 3 cases that were to be held in the High Court in Kolkata, where the TMC had gone to court, IPAC had gone to court, ED had gone to court, suggesting that the Chief Minister and TMC was obstructing them from dispensing their duties. Well, the hearing was suspended because the TMC cadre caused abject chaos. This is how it all panned out.
Kolkata streets choke with crowds. Slogans rip through the air. And at the head of the march is Chief Minister herself. High drama in Bengal after the Enforcement Directorate raided the office of political consultancy firm IPAC. Mamata Banerjee on Friday led a massive protest march from Jadavpur to Hazra, accusing the Narendra Modi government of weaponizing the ED to target the TMC.
কিন্তু এটা দুর্বলতা নয়, আপনারা মিটিং করলে পেছনে পুলিশ, সামনে পুলিশ, ওদিকে সিআরপিএফ, ওদিকে বিএসএফ, ওদিকে আইএসএফ, কে না আছে?
The confrontation is not limited to Bengal. Hours before Mamata's march, Trinamool MPs took to the streets in Delhi, protesting outside the Home Ministry, alleging vendetta politics. The Delhi police stepped in, taking the TMC leaders into custody temporarily.
You're seeing what is happening to MPs. All our MPs have been picked up. Stop! Governor! Governor! No! 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 Don't mention. ये मत करो, ये मत करो.
पहले उनका 10 साल 11 साल कुछ नहीं याद रहते, इलेक्शन के टाइम सब ईडी भेजना, सीबीआई भेजना, उसका याद आ जाता है इलेक्शन जीतने के लिए, लेकिन जीतेंगे नहीं.
From the streets, the battle moves to the courtroom. The TMC and ED have approached the Calcutta High Court. Severe overcrowding, however, has forced an adjournment. The matter is now listed for January 14. Behind the protests and legal moves are explosive claims by the Enforcement Directorate. According to ED sources, tense scenes unfolded when Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee reached the raid site on Thursday. ED sources allege the Chief Minister took away IPAC Chief Preeti Choudhry's phone. The state DGP instructed ED officials not to record recoveries in the Panchnama. ED officers were threatened with arrest if recoveries were shown. 3 ED officials were allegedly outnumbered by dozens of state police personnel and the Chief Minister's Z security. ED claims intimidation and pressure to dilute the incident report. The DGP allegedly threatened FIRs against ED officers. Independent witnesses, ED says, were also harassed. The BJP has gone on the offensive.
The entire action of the Chief Minister is not only unethical, irresponsible, unconstitutional, but she has put the entire democratic process and governance to shame.
The BJP delegation met Governor C.V. Ananda Bose seeking immediate intervention, accusing Mamata Banerjee of unconstitutional conduct and misuse of the state police machinery. With courts stepping in, accusations flying thick and fast, and tempers rising, the ED versus Mamata Banerjee showdown is far from over.
ये फाइल ले जाया जा रहा है.
Bureau Report, India Today.
ये फाइल ले जाई जा रही है यहाँ से.
All right, viewers, while the TMC and Mamata Banerjee claims that this is a weaponization and misuse of central agencies right before an election, but what has also happened is unprecedented. Never in the history has a constitutional post like the Chief Minister tried to come in the way of a central agency dispensing their duties. Listen in to Swapan Dasgupta, senior leader, BJP. But Mr. Dasgupta, for example, what possibly gives Mamata Banerjee the confidence to do what she did yesterday, and no way can anyone justify what she did. But that confidence could come from the fact, and I'm only quoting data, just on the source of journalistic inquisition, we took out 10 past elections that have happened. In fact, we took out data of all elections that have happened in the last 10 years. And saving 2 states, Mr. Dasgupta, every state that has gone into election has seen action by investigative agencies on the opposition party, whether it's in the opposition or incumbent government to the BJP, face action by central agencies 2 to 3 months before elections. It's practically nearly every election in the last 10 years.
Well, thank you for pointing out that, and I'm sure that's a very interesting observation. But what I want to point out is that as far as I can make out, and what the ED has said, that these raids yesterday were in connection with a coal scam, a hideous scam which took place. It's been almost about a decade now. It's been in the thing, and it's being monitored on a regular basis by the courts. So it's not something which has happened overnight. Now you may say, why did they leave it to the last minute? I mean, that's a question anyone can ask. But there are issues which are there. There are investigations which are in the offing, and there are investigations which center on both IPAC as well as the nephew of Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee. So, I'm stunned by the silence of that gentleman on this thing, because there are a lot of people who would say that this has something to do with him. But those are allegations. I'm not actually making a final assertion on that. But I would say that the BJP is fighting this election on its own. It's a political fight. There is a separate thing called the ED, which has its own agenda, which has its own brief, and its brief which they fulfill. And I don't think we should confuse that. If anyone in the BJP is making the connection that ED is what ED and the BJP are working hand in glove, I think they're making a very serious mistake. That's not the issue at all. Political fights are political fights. The Enforcement Directorate is the Enforcement Directorate. CBI is the CBI.
Welcome back. You're watching To The Point. Now, the women vote bank has always, especially in the recent past, played a very decisive role in India's elections. They can make or break an election. And to win that vote, parties offer, of late, a cash dole, direct cash transfers. And this has happened not in one state. Government after government, state after state have launched women-centric schemes, especially right before an election. Let's start with the last election, where one thing was very clear, that it was the Ladli Yojana that won the Mahayuti, which is the BJP and the Shinde Sena combined, the state of Maharashtra. Right ahead of the Maharashtra elections, the Mahayuti launched the Mukhyamantri Majhi Ladki Bahin scheme, promising 1,500 a month to over 2.5 crore women. While it boosted political support, a recent review found over 26 lakh beneficiaries ineligible, cutting off payments for many and straining state finances. My colleague Omkar Vable reports from Pune.
Ahead of the Maharashtra Assembly elections, the Mahayuti Alliance launched the Mukhyamantri Majhi Ladki Bahin scheme, allocating nearly 45,000 crore rupees. Under this program, around 2.5 crore women receive 1,500 rupees per month directly into their bank accounts. The scheme was announced by CM Eknath Shinde, Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar to create a favourable environment ahead of the polls, especially after the Mahayuti government faced setbacks in the Lok Sabha elections.
आपको ये लाडली बहना का पैसा आ रहा है क्या?
आ रहा है।
हाँ? आपको आ रहा है?
हाँ।
कितने 1,500 महीने का आता है उतना?
हाँ।
कितने लोग हैं आपके घर में जो?
दो ही।
तो दोनों को आ रहा है पैसा?
हाँ।
ये आप बताइए, आपको ये लाडली बहना का पैसा आ रहा है क्या?
आ रहा है। हो।
तो आपके घर में कितने लोग थे जिन्होंने अप्लाई किया?
के लिए हो।
आपने?
हाँ।
और जब से आपने अप्लाई किया तब से आ रहा है?
तब से आ रहा है।
कोई इशू नहीं उसमें?
कोई नहीं।
While the scheme helped the government gain political support and secure power again, women were asked to submit additional legal documents and complete KYC verification. Then came the setback following the review. Over 26 lakh women were removed from the program.
लाड़की बहना के पैसे आ रहे हैं आपको?
नहीं है, अभी नहीं आ रहे।
आपको नहीं आ रहे?
नहीं।
पहले आते थे?
पहले भी नहीं, आधार कार्ड का कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया।
ओके, तो आपका केवाईसी का इशू हुआ है?
KYC का इशू।
दीदी, आपको लाड़की बहना के पैसे आ रहे हैं क्या?
हिंदी में
पैसे येतात का नाही येत पैसे?
नाही येत.
पैसे नाही येत? की क्यों नहीं आ रहे पैसे?
ते मी फॉर्म भरलं होतं पण ते परत म्हणते आधार कार्डाचं ते लिंक करायला लागेल. ते आधार कार्ड लिंक केलं पण तरी काही आलंच नाही म्हणते.
Not just beneficiaries, the Ladki Bahin scheme also put a financial strain on other government departments. MLA funds, for example, have not been released for the past 6 months. And contractors in public works and other departments are owed nearly 90,000 crore rupees.
महाराष्ट्र सरकार हमारे पेमेंट के लिए इसमें प्रयास कर रही है जल्दी से जल्दी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के पेमेंट रिलीज करने के लिए, और उन्होंने पिछले क्वार्टर में अच्छी तरह से पैसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के रिलीज किए हुए हैं. तो आगे भी सरकार से हम हमारे पेमेंट के लिए सहयोग चाह रहे हैं और सहयोग सरकार करेगी, ऐसे हमें आशा है.
Government says the number of beneficiaries could decrease further. However, Deputy CM Ajit Pawar has assured that the scheme is for women's welfare and will continue.
की योजना आम्ही आमच्या लाडक्या बहिणींच्या करता सुरू केलेली आहे आणि ती आमची शेवटपर्यंत चालू ठेवण्याची इच्छा आहे.
हमारे सरकार ने संकल्प किया था चुनाव में हम 5 साल में लाडली बहना की योजना को और मजबूत करेंगे और लाडली बहना योजना देश में सबसे अच्छी महाराष्ट्र की होगी.
The Mukhyamantri Majhi Ladki Behan scheme was approved in June-July 2024. It provides 1,500 rupees per month to women aged 21 to 65 from economically weaker sections, promoting financial independence, health, nutrition and decision-making at home. Payments are made directly via DBT. As of 2025, around 2.4 crore women are receiving the benefit, costing the government over 3,000 crore rupees per month. But India Today has found that 26.34 lakh beneficiaries were found ineligible and removed. Over 2,200 government women employees were mistakenly receiving benefits and later removed. Cases of multiple beneficiaries from the same family, incorrect documents, and more than 12,000 men receiving funds by mistake were also identified.
When municipal corporation elections are approaching, government has already deposited 2 months of amount at the same time, and interestingly they've started creating installments in advance of this January month. With camera person Gopal Harne, this is Omkar Wable, India Today, Pune.
All right, let's move from the Ladki Bahin Yojana to the Maiya Samman Yojana. That was a game changer in Jharkhand. Soren government launched right ahead of the assembly elections. The scheme offered 2,500 a month to eligible women, easing financial stress for many. However, portal issues and misuse have left some still waiting.
Welfare schemes for women are not just restricted to BJP-ruled states. The Hemant Soren government also launched Maiya Samman Yojana in August 2024, just before Raksha Bandhan and ahead of the assembly elections. The scheme initially provided 1,000 rupees per month to women aged 18 to 50. But the government promised that if it is voted to power, the benefit would increase to 2,500 rupees per month. Since January 2025, over 55 lakh women have been receiving the enhanced amount. Ahead of Christmas, the November installment for these beneficiaries was released in time. The scheme proved to be a game changer for Hemant Soren government, as it made a solid comeback in polls. The Jharkhand government remained committed to continuing the scheme at all costs. However, some issues remain. Eligible women who have applied are unable to receive benefits because the portal is closed, while some affluent women are still receiving the 2,500 rupees monthly benefit. The government is now scanning and removing such cases of misuse. In Chatra village, women like Anita Topo, Soni from low-income families say the 2,500 rupees has made a real difference.
बहुत फायदा हुआ है सर, इससे बच्चों का पढ़ाई में भी फीस उस कभी नहीं दे पाते हैं, तो इससे हो जाता है। और बच्चे जब कॉलेज में जा रहे हैं तो भाड़ा जो देना होता है रोज का वो हो जाता है।
हाँ, राहत हो रहा है। पढ़ाई लिखाई बच्चा लोग का कभी कभी घट जाता था, कॉपी पेंसिल, तो उससे पूरा हट जा रहा है। कुछ बहुत मदद मिल रहा है।
The scheme has eased daily financial struggles, allowing women to buy school supplies, stationery and household necessities independently. However, some villagers remain frustrated. Many eligible women are unable to enroll due to portal closures.
अब प्राइवेट में काम करते हैं, मेरा पति तो बोल दिया नौकरी है, तो सरकारी तो नहीं है। बड़ा मुश्किल से होता है गुजारा, खाना पीना के लिए बहुत दिक्कत हो जाता है।
मिल रहा था हमको, लेकिन 2-3 महीने से मेरा पैसा आना बंद हो गया। बताने वाला कोई है ही नहीं, पूछते हैं तो बोलता है आएगा आएगा बोलता है, कोई बतावे नहीं करता है।
पहले तो यह हमारे गांव में स्कैन कराए, और ये स्कैन कराने से ये बेनिफिट होगा कि जो सक्षम परिवार है, यहाँ बहुत सारा ऐसे लोग हैं जो जॉब वाले लोग हैं, अच्छे जॉब है, गवर्नमेंट जॉब से है, वो लोग भी आज मैया समान योजना लिए जा रहे हैं।
BJP, on the other hand, is criticizing the scheme, saying it put the government under stress and caused delays in other welfare programs, including pensions for widows, the elderly and disabled.
अन्य जितनी भी स्कॉलरशिप मिल रही थी, वृद्धा पेंशन मिल रहा था, विधवा पेंशन मिल रहा था, वो सभी प्रभावित हुई हैं। उनका पेमेंट नियमित नहीं हो पा रहा है। तो कुल मिलाकर के मैया सम्मान योजना ने झारखंड सरकार को बहुत स्ट्रेस में ला दिया है।
Despite these challenges, the government maintains that the Mahua Samman Yojana will continue, empowering women to become self-reliant and financially independent.
नारी सशक्तिकरण की दिशा में अब तक पूर्व की किसी भी सरकार ने कोई सार्थक कदम नहीं उठाया था। उन्हें आर्थिक रूप से मजबूत बनाने के दृष्टिकोण से, ताकि समाज में उनकी प्रतिष्ठा भी बनी रहे, तो ये महिला सम्मान योजना कार्यक्रम चलाया गया।
As political parties battle over sustainability and intent for millions of women on the ground, the Mahua Samman Yojana is no longer just an election promise. It is a lifeline they now depend on.
Many eligible and deserving women are still deprived of the benefit of the scheme. If there is no financial constraint, will the government connect and link the new applicants with this scheme? With camera person Rakesh Tiwari, this is Satyajit Kumar in Ranchi for India Today.
All right, now let's take you to the state of Madhya Pradesh, where it proverbially all began, which is direct cash transfers with the Ladli Behna Yojana. It became a key political tool for others to follow. While aimed at empowering women through monthly aid, the scheme has now put the state under extreme financial duress.
The scheme rolled out in Maharashtra was modelled on the Ladli Behna scheme, first introduced by the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. The Ladli Behna scheme was announced by the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. Initially, women were given 1,000 rupees per month. After Mohan Yadav took over as Chief Minister, the assistance was first increased to 1,250 and later raised to 1,500 rupees per month. This hike has helped many women improve their financial condition, supporting household expenses and even helping families cope during medical emergencies.
मेरी बच्ची सरकारी स्कूल में जाती थी। अब मैंने वो जो लाडली बहना का मुझे पैसा मिला, तो मैंने अपनी बच्ची का नाम प्राइवेट स्कूल में डाल दिया है और वो अच्छी शिक्षा प्राप्त कर रही है वो उससे पैसों से। और मैं अपनी दुकान है छोटी सी, मैंने किराने की दुकान डाली, उसमें ही वो उपयोग में लेती हूँ। बिजली का बिल है और बहुत सारी मेरी ज़रूरत है, मैं उनसे पूरा कर लेती हूँ।
पैसे मिलने से मशीन ले लिए और घर का खर्चा चल जाता है और पैसे जोड़ जाड़ के हम काम चला लेते हैं घर का। मुसीबत में पैसे काम आ जाते हैं।
However, not everyone has been able to access the benefits. Several women say technical issues and documentation hurdles have kept them out of the scheme.
हमारा आधार नहीं बना और हमने बहुत कोशिश करी। आधार मतलब बन चुका है पर आ नहीं पा रहा, OTP नहीं आ रहा। कोई बोल रहा है आपकी उंगलियां छपी है, वो नहीं आ पा रही। बहुत जगह जगह जा चुके हैं, नहीं हो पा रहा। MP नगर 10 बार गए, वहाँ भी बोले उंगलियों के निशान नहीं आ पा रहे। इस कारण फिर हमने हाथ ही पीछे कर लिया। अब मैंने बोला जाना ही नहीं फिर।
And it's not just beneficiaries who are feeling the pressure. Politicians are now facing the weight of their election promises. The burden of populist pledges and the reality of an emptying treasury have now been acknowledged publicly, even by senior BJP leaders in Madhya Pradesh.
राज्यों के बजट की हालत बहुत ज़्यादा खराब हो गई है और हम लोगों ने जो राजनीतिक मजबूरी के कारण जो घोषणाएं कर दी है उससे थोड़ी सी तकलीफ है और हर राज्य इसको, अरुण जी भी डिप्टी CM हंस रहे हैं, मुस्कुरा रहे हैं, सब राज्यों की ये स्थिति है। तो मुझे लगता है कि सबकी आशा केंद्र से ही रही है फिर से। पर हाँ, ये बात
This is no laughing matter. Budget constraints have delayed several government projects. In the past year alone, Madhya Pradesh has taken loans worth 50,000 crore rupees, a significant portion of which is being used to fulfill election promises. Madhya Pradesh is currently under a heavy debt burden of 4.65 lakh crore rupees, which is higher than the state's total budget of 4.21 lakh crore rupees for 2025-26. This means the state owes more than what it plans to spend in an entire year, highlighting a widening gap between income and expenditure. Now take a look at the schemes putting the biggest pressure on the state's finances. The biggest pressure on Madhya Pradesh's finances comes from welfare schemes, led by the Ladli Behna Yojana. The scheme had a budget allocation of 18,669 crore rupees for 2025 to 26, when the monthly payout was 1,250 rupees, but after the amount was raised to 1,500 post Diwali, the annual cost is now estimated at around 22,000 crore rupees for nearly 1.26 crore women beneficiaries. In addition, the state contributes 6,000 rupees per year under the PM Kisan scheme, costing the exchequer about 5,000 crore annually. After servicing its debt, less than 1,000 crore remains in the treasury, while the annual interest burden alone exceeds 30,000 crore. As expected, the opposition has launched a sharp attack on the ruling BJP government, alleging that the state government is surviving on debt.
जितना हमें भारत सरकार से पैसा मिलता है और कर्ज के रूप में मिलता है, वो है इतना नहीं है कि इसके साथ साथ हम अपने डेवलपमेंट के काम भी शुरू रखें। ये काम तो चल जाएंगे, पर जो आपके यहाँ स्कूल बन रहे हैं उसका क्या होगा?
10,000 करोड़ सरकार का बजट है और 4,60,000 करोड़ कर्जा है। अकेली लाडली बहना पर 18,000 करोड़ साल का खर्चा है। इन्हें पैर चादर से बाहर निकल रहे हैं। 72,000 करोड़ का घाटे का बजट है, तो पैर चादर से जब बाहर निकल रहे हैं तो योजनाओं के बजट के लिए पैसा कहां से लाया जाए?
The cost of election promises is now visible in hard numbers. Debt higher than the annual budget. The big question remains, will populist politics push future generations deeper into debt? And will development now rely more on borrowing than on sustainable growth?
When election freebies begin to bleed the treasury dry, the political truth no longer stay hidden. Kailash Vijayvargiya's remark brutally exposes the cost of vote bank populism, an empty exchequer, and a state sinking deeper into debt. With camera person Amrish from Bhopal, this is Ravishpal Singh for India Today.
All right, let's move on from BJP-run Madhya Pradesh to Congress-run Himachal Pradesh. The Congress government promised 1,500 rupees per month under the Indira Gandhi Pyari Behna Sukh Samman Nidhi Yojana. Nearly 3 years later, lakhs of women are still waiting.
For lakhs of women in Himachal Pradesh, a promise made before the elections has now turned into a long, silent wait. The Indira Gandhi Pyari Behna Sukh Samman Nidhi Yojana promised 1,500 rupees per month. It was one of the Congress party's biggest poll guarantees and a key reason for the party to come to power. Nearly 3 years into the government's term, the hope remains, the money does not. Only 35,687 women have received benefits so far. Lakhs are still waiting, some after one installment, many after none. India Today reached Sisu village in Lahore, where women say the promise has barely been fulfilled, if at all.
आपको ये योजना के बारे में पता है जो 1,500 रुपए महीना सरकार ने प्रॉमिस किया?
हाँ जी पता है।
फॉर्म भरा था आपने?
भरा था जी।
आपको पैसे मिले? आपको
सिर्फ 1 महीना मिला। बहुत सारी होंगी गांव में, हमारे गांव की तो कम में होंगी, लेकिन दूसरे गांव की है औरतें जिनको एक ही महीना मिला।
एक महीना?
हाँ जी,
उसके
बाद नहीं।
हाँ जी, क्या नाम है आपका?
देवेंद्रा देवी जी।
देवेंद्रा जी, सरकार ने एक वादा किया था कि 1,500 रुपए महीना मिलेगा, आपने वो वादा सुना था?
सुना था जी, सुना था लेकिन मिला नहीं है।
तो अब 4 साल लगभग हो गए, 3.5-4 साल, तो अब तक मिले कि नहीं पैसे?
कुछ पैसा नहीं मिला। 5 रुपए भी नहीं मिला, 1,500 तो कहाँ से मिलना?
अप्लाई तो किया था, उस टाइम तो बोला था ना ये, हाँ जी सबको मिलेगा बोल के, हाँ जी, तो अभी तो नहीं मिला है।
तो इतने साल हो गए, पैसे नहीं आया?
नहीं आया जी।
Even local representatives admit the gap between promise and delivery.
मेरी पंचायत में भी मैक्सिमम 30-40 महिलाओं ने जो इसके अंतर्गत आते थे उन्होंने भरे, उनमें से कुछ एक महिलाओं को मिले 1,500 पर मंथ, एक ही महीना मिला। मैक्सिमम जो लेडीज थे जिन्होंने भरे थे उन्हें नहीं मिला आज तक।
हम इस वक्त लाहौल स्पीति डिस्ट्रिक्ट के सिसु गांव में हैं और हमने काफी महिलाओं से बात की जो कोई मैगी बेचते हैं, कोई कपड़े बेचते हैं, कुछ बेचती हैं, लेकिन इंतजार कर रही हैं सरकार के 1,500 रुपए महीने के।
The story is no different in Mandi, where women say they applied nearly 3 years ago, but their bank accounts remain empty.
वोट के पहले कांग्रेस सरकार ने वादा किया था कि हिमाचल की हर एक महिला को हर महीने 1500 मिलेगा, पर हमें तो 3 साल हो गए फॉर्म भरे हुए, हमें एक भी पैसा नहीं मिला है।
वो हमने फॉर्म भरा हुआ था 2023 में, तो हमें तो अभी कोई ऐसा मिले नहीं है पैसे।
The Chief Minister, however, insists the scheme is being implemented in phases, citing financial constraints.
2,37,000 महिलाओं को जिनको 1100 रुपये मिलते थे, 1,050 रुपया मिलता था, उनको हमने 1,500 रुपये देने की शुरुआत की थी। जो 1,500 की गारंटी है वो चरणबद्ध तरीके से हम पूरा कर रहे हैं। आने वाले समय में जैसे ही हमारी आर्थिक स्थिति ठीक होती है तो और देने की भी हम कोशिश करेंगे।
But women on the ground point to changing rules. Exclusions based on government jobs, pensions or income certificates. Conditions that were never highlighted before the elections.
पांगी और लाहौल स्पीति गए थे, उन्होंने वहाँ भी घोषणा की थी कि 1500 मिले थे, हाँ मिलने थे, लेकिन अभी तक वो 1500 नहीं मिले हैं।
इन्होंने जो भी वादे किए वो इस पे कोई भी खरे नहीं उतरे हैं, तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये इनके बहकावे में हम महिलाओं को नहीं आना चाहिए।
During the winter session of the Assembly, the government admitted that only 35,687 beneficiaries have been registered so far, with payments subject to budget availability. Una tops the list with 7,280 beneficiaries, Sirmaur follows with 4,128, Bilaspur with 3,254, Mandi with 3,187 and Shimla with 2,569 women receiving the amount. The opposition calls it a betrayal, arguing that even listed beneficiaries received only 1 or 2 installments.
हिमाचल प्रदेश की माताओं बहनों के साथ जिनको झूठ बोल करके उन्हें गुमराह किया है और उसकी पोल सच्चाई के रूप में खुल गई है। अभी तक हिमाचल प्रदेश में जो एक इंस्टॉलमेंट या 2 इंस्टॉलमेंट, 1 इंस्टॉलमेंट अगर दी है तो वो कुल जो है वो बहुत कम संख्या है। लगभग शायद मेरे ख्याल में 30 और 35 हज़ार की पॉपुलेशन मतलब कुल महिलाओं की जो उसमें कवर हो पाई है।
As Himachal heads into the final 2 years of Congress government's term, the question lingers in these hills. Was the Pyari Behna promise meant to empower women or just to win votes?
3 years down the line, when you hit the ground, it is tough to find the beneficiaries. Although the government claims that more than 35,000 women are getting the benefits, but there are lakhs of women across Himachal Pradesh who are still waiting for it. So it is time that Sukhu government delivers what it promised. With camera person Girish Dugapal and Gunjit Kumar, this is Asim Basri, India Today.